Hi. Paris is dirty. We start our adventure south to greet us. Hello. We are in the Brückenkopfpark, it's called in Jülich. It's a mixture of a park and a zoo and a playground. So, recapping Paris, how was it? Did we do the city justice? I mean, of course not. We were there for like 5-6 days.
Oh.
So we were there for like not even a full week. The soft plumes at the back.
Uh-huh.
Hey, show off. Hey there. Hi. So, yeah, we explored a bit of Paris. Of course, we didn't see everything and stuff, but I feel like it was okay.
Yeah, so the most important things we saw, I would say.
Yeah, the tour was quite good. The tour guide was quite nice.
Yes.
Even though you felt like in a rush all the time, but it was a full program, so there is no way around rushing some things. Oh, there, a white
one.
albino.
Wow. He looks amazing. Completely white.
Paris was, as expected, as an European capital, quite expensive. But outside of over touristic spots, it was not overly expensive, I feel.
Some places are, but not all, I would say.
Yeah, if you keep in mind that still it is a European capital, it is a world-renowned city, so of course it's going to be expensive, but in parts it wasn't as expensive as I feared it to be. But what stood out for me, Paris is quite dirty.
Yeah, I had the same feeling. So
even in the touristic areas, but if you leave those and go a bit to the outskirts, it gets quite dirty quite fast. And the rarity in Paris seems to be trash cans. They are hard to find at all.
But also the buildings are not shiny, they are dirty, maybe covered in dust or something like that. So it seems that the entire city is dirty. Yeah. So I had the same feeling.
Colorful birds. Meep. Bird, bird, bird. Hi. What did you like most about the tour?
I like that the guide, I like that he also told us a bit about the history, why wine maybe is that famous in Paris or in France because of the war, and during this war the water pipes were damaged or destroyed, and therefore they, how to say this?
They used wine as a drinking source because there was no clean water.
Yeah, so when they drank the water, the dirty water, they get diseases directly and almost died. And therefore they are some kind of distills. They used to make wine, and for the children they boiled the wine with some fruits and sugar for that the children are not drinking the alcohol. And because of this, wine is that important or famous for them in France. The uhu has a chicken in his mouth. He's looking at you. staring at you with this chicken in his. Yeah. And this one is warming up his feet with the chicken.
Where is Harry? Huh? Where is Mr. Potter?
See, he's warming up his feet with the chicken. There's a second one. Hi.
So what did you like about the city of Paris?
The city is quite big, huge. It was so the Champs-Élysées, the most famous street in Paris, I would guess. It is every time I travel there so it's enormous. Also with the expensive shops like Goodyear and all the other stuff, and Paris itself, yeah, it's expensive, it's dirty, maybe it's more beautiful in the summertime, but in winter it's just grey.
Can you hear
He's clapping with
his beak?
Hi.
Clack, clack, clack. I felt like English was quite rare, so to say, even those that spoke English, apart from the guide, of course, it was not easy to speak to them. Yeah, I thought it was way more impressive than I thought. Yeah, the transportation system. On the one hand, it's quite good. On the other hand, it feels like they're trying to do the same as in London,
Yeah.
but are more expensive and more unorganized. So, for example, you can get an app to buy your tickets, but actually you need two different apps which work with one another. And one time I used it to buy a ticket and it worked. Second time I bought a ticket, the app said everything is good, but the station didn't let me enter. They were like, nope, ticket not valid. So, funny thing is, there's also signs everywhere guiding you if you need help. But in 80% of times, the desks are closed. There's like, nope, there's no help here today.
That's true. Around 3 in one station and all 3 are closed. So, yeah, if you need help, help yourself.
A day ticket for €12 per person. On the one hand, it's not overly expensive. On the other hand, the London system feels way better and fairer.
Organized,
and
more organized.
yeah, it just works. You put money on your card and it works. And in Paris, you need to put tickets on your card.
Yeah.
So, and it's a bit strange, but nonetheless, it's better than a lot of other systems.
Ooh, there's also one on the fence.
Sorry. Hi. Look who came out of the door to greet us. And back in. He's eating. But I forgot about the Brückenkopfpark. It's also part museum, so to say, because this actually was a fortress in the Second World War and wars before that.
Yeah, so the Eiffel Tower, I didn't expect it that we just could enter the second floor and then from the second you are able to go to the first floor. So means you have to buy a ticket for first and second. So the view is amazing. And of course it is expensive on top. So for a croissant, I think it was around €5 and a cappuccino around €8.50. So kinda expensive. But when you are able to go to the Eiffel Tower and have a coffee, huh? So also the Castle Versailles, that was, could I say, bombastic? Wow, a lot of gold.
Yeah, let's say the gardener does not go bored fast.
No.
Yeah, parking was, of course, I mean, it's a European capital, etc., etc. Parking was not that easy. The driving style is so aggressive. When we went early from Paris to Disneyland, there was stop and go on the highway, right? But it didn't feel like they were driving careful or something. When it was go time, so to say, and people started to move slow, people hit full throttle and then full on the brakes, and it was war. Yeah, that was a very aggressive driving style. Especially in the mornings, it like stresses you out.
Yeah.
You surely get used to it, but I found it quite annoying, at least annoying.
Yeah, so we were there Tuesday to Sunday.
You didn't see any of the
But,
Sunday because when we got up, we just packed our stuff and drove back.
But from, I guess, Monday to Friday, so there is a lot of traffic because all have to go to work. And yeah, we stood up at this time and wanted to travel to Disneyland.
We, of course, didn't enter the Louvre, but yeah, this was also kind of impressive. I mean, there are a lot of sites in Paris, like the Arc de Triomphe, etc., which are nice that you have seen them and you can be like, done. Yeah, but the Louvre, the outside is so big and enormous. And then we stumbled into this art thingy, which is not even really part of the Louvre. It's just below
the underground.
Louvre. Yeah. So yeah, it has to be vast.
Yeah.
And our guide told us there are people that went to the Louvre for 2 months every single day and still they haven't seen everything, etc. So yeah, kinda crazy.
Yeah,
kinda crazy.
there's should be a lot of art to see. So yeah, maybe we are coming back to France just for the Louvre.
I don't know. The world has so much to offer.
I want to see the Mona Lisa, but she should be
Google it.
quite tiny. And
Let's see.
but yeah, you're right. There's so much to see in the world, and our next big travel will be Vietnam.
Yeah, so the world has so much to offer that we go back to somewhere where we've been already.
Right.
But
Because it was so great there, and we
didn't take you with us. So this time, you're coming with us to Vietnam.
right. Last time, so around 2 years ago, we were there for around 2 weeks, and now we want to go to travel there for at least 4 weeks, and we will take you with us.
So yeah, last time we started in Saigon. We visited Nha Trang, which has some of the most beautiful beaches. We visited Hanoi and we did an Ha Long boat tour thingy, 2 nights, 3 days.
In Ha Long Bay.
Which is hella expensive, but hella unforgettable experiences.
Yes, absolutely.
If you're there, do it. You should do it once in life. We won't do it again this time because it is expensive.
Yeah. But
yeah.
the views,
Mountains are amazing.
amazing,
The
really.
jade-colored water. Just the vibe is astonishing. Of course, it gets more and more touristic. So you are on a touristic boat, and you're surrounded by touristic boats. But sometimes your boat drives somewhere, and your boat is alone, and then you feel a bit more like this is your bay. And the Halong Bay is very
The
astonishing.
nature there is unbelievable. It's wow, really.
So this time we plan this route. We start around here and we get a bike. And from there we start our adventure south. And there are some optional parts, so to say. This is not the full route, it's just what I could put on Google Maps for now. But yeah, if we need some more time and don't feel like rushing forward or something, then we chill out and drop some of the additional goals, like Muini is the first to be dropped, I guess. And I thought about Dalat would be one to drop, but in all honesty, if we do that tour, we have to either return the bike to Hanoi, which would be go all the way back, or to Da Nang, which is like halfway. And if we go further, it's also going back, or Dalat. So yeah, in the end we would skip time in Dalat, but we need to end in Dalat to fly back to Hanoi because our plane leaves from Hanoi to return home. So
Yeah, but we'll see. 4 weeks on a bike.
yeah, we started training today. First time we both rode my Suzuki GSF 600. I didn't ride my bike for a long time, so yeah. But I put my bike into the workshop and made it fit again. And now I'm building up my experience again. I'm by no means anyway a great biker or something. My bike for me always was just a means to go from A to B. But yeah, I need to feel secure on the bike again, which I kind of do. It's a bit like riding a bicycle, I guess. But I didn't ride a lot with people on my back. And this is a whole other level, how you feel it and how the bike controls. So we gotta train to adjust, and we'll do that in the next upcoming weeks. So we are as prepared as possible for Vietnam, where we have, of course, not such a big heavy bike, but on the other hand, the roads will probably not be as pristine as a lot of German roads. Okay, of course, a lot of people will be like, no, German roads are not pristine. It is building sites everywhere. Blah. Yeah, but comparatively, we of course have quite good streets here. Hi, bird. Bye-bye.
He's crossing our way.
And over there is an Albano again.
Ah,
Probably the same one, because this is kind of the part where we were before.
I think so, yeah.
Oh, by the way, when we take you with us to Vietnam, starting now with this video for preparations, I'll figure out how to put in a Google form in the description. So if either you have been to Vietnam or you know someone and you have any tips along the route we showed you, just push it in the Google form. Give us a Google Maps link, a little description what it is and why we should do it, and then we can consider it. And it would be a wonderful way to interact both ways.
Yeah.
Oh, a grey
That's
one.
true. Oh, but
Huh.
maybe a female.
Yeah, it's a female, I guess. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. If any other words regarding Paris or Vietnam plans?
It was a nice trip. I would recommend do it in the summertime, not in the wintertime, but
yeah, summertime is also high season, so everything will be crowded SF, right?
yeah, but
Let's give a
it
TLDR.
was still crowded there.
Yeah, in places, sure, but not as much as in summer, I'd reckon. Let's give a TLDR recap of Paris. Very short, each of us. So, my short recap of Paris would be, it's an European capital, it's a world-renowned city, of course. It was nice that you had been there. It was very nice that we had been on the Eiffel Tower, because the Eiffel Tower did positively surprise me. Other than that, it's kind of dirty for an European capital, and I have no high desire to return anytime soon.
Okay.
How about you?
So I would say wintertime is not the best time to travel there. So yeah, maybe that was not our luck that we had -5 degrees there, so this was not great. Other than that, I would say if you aren't there, go. Travel there, have a look at the historical buildings. They're kind of impressive. The city itself, for me, it was quite dirty, and but I think I also don't want to go back there just for the city.
So, next week we'll go into detail a bit more about Disneyland. See you then.
Bye.